Today we're going to talk about strawberries. There are three common growth patterns to strawberries: June-bearing, ever-bearing, and day-neutral. The June-bearing plants flower in the spring, produce fruit in June. June-bearing, that makes sense. The ever-bearing produce flowers and fruit in the short days of spring and fall, and the day-neutral plants produce the fruit throughout the entire spring, summer, and fall, as long as the summer is not over 85 degrees. All three sets get planted in the ground in bright sunny areas with good drainage. Now there's some differences. The June-bearing plants are planted in 18 to 24 inches in the rows, and then the rows 3 to 4 feet apart. That's a lot of room, because during the first year we're going to remove their flowers in the spring so we can get a good established root system, and then over the summer we're going to plant the runners. All these strawberries will be sending out little stolons and then a new plant, and we're going to rearrange those and plant them so that they're about 6 inches apart. The second year we're going to get our fruit, and we're going to get some of those fruit off those runners and some of those fruit off the original mother plants. Then in following years we will take some of the older plants out and keep rearranging the new runners, the new stolons, and putting them in places that fill in, so we can keep a nice bed of strawberries and have those crops from the second year to maybe the 5th or 6th or even 7th year before we replant, before we have a problem with not getting enough production out of it. Now the ever-bearing and the day-neutrals are treated the same. They're planted only 6 inches apart from the very beginning, and again the first set of flowers is cut off so we can get a good root system, and then we will get some fruit during the rest of the season. Now we're going to cut off all the stolons or all the runners on these plants, and because they're already only 6 inches apart. Strawberries are the biggest weed in strawberry patches. The more strawberry plants you have, the closer they are together, the fewer strawberries you're going to get. We want them at least 6 inches apart and to get a good spacing on them, and that way we can have good production from any of the kinds of strawberries. So for planting the ever-bearing and the day-neutral 6 inches apart to begin with, we don't want any of the runners. We just want to have the flowers after that first set of flowers. Now, multiple harvests in a season can cause the plants to be exhausted and not produce very well the second year. So a lot of people treat the day-neutrals and the ever-bearing as annuals and don't even try to grow them another year. They just replant them each year, take off the flowers at the beginning so they can get a little bit stronger plant, and then let them grow fruit the rest of the spring or the summer and into the fall. So there's a couple different ways you can grow those. You can let them try to go for more than 1 year, or you can treat them as annuals. Now in our case right now, we're planting some day-neutral plants in a variety of strawberry pots with multiple layers, and we're using them in some hanging baskets to hang over the sides. So we're going to be planting all of our day-neutrals in containers. Now the June-bearing plants, I've used them in the past in the landscape as a ground cover. The problem is I have chipmunks, squirrels, raccoons, possums, and who knows, cats and dogs probably, that are eating the strawberries. So I don't get that many strawberries when I use them out in the landscape. So these are being planted this year in a small flower bed that is protected by fencing, and I can put up some more fencing so I can keep the berries on these June-bearing ones next year. So this year we will be taking off the flowers, and then next year we'll be getting the bigger fruit. Now the June-bearing ones do tend to produce the much bigger strawberries than the day-neutral and the ever-bearing. The ever-bearing and day-neutrals tend to produce more fruit, but they're smaller. So if you want to have a lot of jam and jelly, or you eat big fresh strawberries, the June-bearing are the way to go. even though you're not going to get any this year. You're going to get a bigger crop all at once. It's only going to be a 2 to 4 week time period that you're going to get fruit. The day neutrals and everbearing, you're going to get smaller fruit for a longer period of time. So you need a lot of plants to be able to get a little bit here and a little bit there all along through the summer. Now the June bearing, not getting any fruit the first year, sounds horrible, but that's the same way we plant rhubarb and asparagus and perennial garden plants. We don't get any production that first year. We want to get a good plant established with a good solid root system and get the mature plant for the following years so we can have a better production in the future. So that's all there is to planting strawberries. You do plant them with the crown, even on where it was when it was growing, before it was harvested and sent to you. So you don't plant them too high so they would dry out, or too low where they would rot. It's just the same way we plant any other plant. And so whether it's in a container or whether it's in the ground, it's the same planting method as all of our other plants. So it's really easy to grow strawberries. And this has been A Greener View. Thanks for watching.